today's episode, we talk about Viggo Mortensen not returning to reprise his role as Aragorn in The Search for Gollum. Blake Lively's case getting dismissed. Should the Lord of the Rings franchise get a Harry Potter style franchise remake like the HBO Max series is doing, instead of doing these silent movies? Also, and joining me later on the loop is the one free man to talk to me about The Last of Us multiplayer being cancelled and the director on his thoughts on it. On today's episode of Attack of the Show.
Pick up on this.
I'm Joseph Vargas. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and we got so much news to get into today that we're just going to get right into it. And we're going to go straight to the feed. This is the feed, and we're going to start with our top story. So, The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, will not see Viggo Mortensen return as Aragorn. This is at IGN.com. But let's get right into the story. This story is by Michael Kripe, and this story was posted on April 3rd. So it says Viggo Mortensen will not reprise his role as Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. Director and returning star Andy Serkis confirmed the news during a recent interview with Screen Rant, after it was first reported back in December by Night Edge Media. Its casting update that means one of the stars of the original The Lord of the Rings trilogy will not return alongside some of his classmates when the film premieres late next year. I don't know what's out there at the moment, but I know there's a lot of speculation, Serkis said. But let's just say we are recasting the role, and we are on the way to finding someone. Many fans have seen The Hunt for Gollum as an opportunity to reunite the team behind one of the all-time great film trilogies. Even Frodo actor Elijah Wood, who is expected to return alongside Gandalf, Ian McKellen, shared his excitement about getting the band back together. Just weeks ago, Mortensen said in 2024 that he was open to returning as Aragorn, too, though only if his inclusion made sense. It would be silly to do it otherwise. Mortensen and the rest of the creative team weren't able to work out a way for a proper return of the king, at least for now. That leaves the door open for a newcomer to step into the role, though details on who that may be remains a mystery for now. I don't know how I feel about that. I was really looking forward to seeing all of them together in the same movie, so it's a big bummer. And I know it's a big bummer for all the fans out there of the original trilogies and the extended trilogies like me. So piggybacking off of this one, we're going to move on to our next story that's actually also about Lord of the Rings. It's also on IGN by Jesse Sheehan. It says, maybe it's time for The Lord of the Rings to get a Harry Potter style reboot. It's been a pretty good week for those who love a big budget adaptation for iconic fantastic novels. HBO Max released the first trailer of its long-awaited Harry Potter series, which reboots the franchise for the small screen. Meanwhile, there were also announcements that Stephen Colbert is helping craft a new Lord of the Rings movie called Shadow of the Past, one that looks to be both sequel and companion to the original trilogy. It's interesting to see Warner Brothers' differing approaches to these two popular franchises. One project is a complete reboot aimed at telling a familiar story in a greater depth than before. The other is a direct continuation that will presumably bring back a great many familiar faces from the original movies. But we have to wonder if Warner's is actually taking the right approach to keeping the Lord of the Rings alive. Do fans actually want more movies with the original cast, or does the series need a Harry Potter style reboot of its own? This whole thing with Viggo not returning as Aragorn, you might as well get new characters now. I don't know. That's just me. Judge dismisses most of Blake Lively's claim in harassment lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Let's get into this one. All right, this was posted out 3 days ago by Madeline Halpert over at BBC. So it says a federal judge has dismissed most of the claims in a sexual harassment lawsuit that actress Blake Lively filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Judge Lewis Lyman threw out the 10 out of 13 allegations in Lively's case, including harassment and defamation. He left in place 3 claims: breach of contract, retaliation, and aiding and abetting in a retaliation, which now go into civil trial in New York on May 18th. The Hollywood legal battle began in 2024 when Lively sued Baldoni, accusing him of harassment and a smear campaign on the set of their hit movie. He denied it and countersued. A member of Lively's legal team, Sigrid McCauley, told BBC that the case has always been and will remain focused on the devastating retaliation and extraordinary steps the defendant took to destroy the actress's reputation. She noted that the sexual harassment claims were dropped not because the defendants did nothing wrong, but because of a technicality. Lively plans to testify during the trial, McCauley said, and would continue to shine a light on vicious form of online retaliation. In a statement, Baldoni's legal team said it was grateful to the court and its careful review of the facts, laws, and voluminous evidence that was provided. We left a significantly narrowed case, and we look forward to presenting our defense to the remaining claims in court, his attorney said. To me, Blake Lively is getting exactly what she deserves. She's a horrible person, and Ryan Reynolds is also a horrible person, and there's just 2 horrible people that want to be horrible to each other and spread their horribleness to everyone they meet. So yeah, good on Justin. Moving on, here's a story that we're going to touch on later on The Loop, and we're going to be joined by a special guest who's going to talk to us about what this means and how they feel about this game that honestly, like, a lot of people were looking forward to. A lot of people were looking forward to this game. So we're going to read more later on into it, but I'm going to read you some of the storylines right now. So it goes, the director of The Last of Us multiplayer spin-off has spoken out on the devastating impact of its cancellation, which he only found out about 24 hours before Sony made it public. Naughty Dog stopped development of The Last of Us Online in December 2023, saying it would have needed to pull all its resources into post-launch content for years to come, an approach that would have severely impacted its ability to develop future single-player games, including what we know as Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Vinod Agarwal was a game director on The Last of Us Online. Having joined Naughty Dog back in 2014, he worked on the game for nearly 7 years, from 2016 to 2023. When production was shut down afterwards, he left Naughty Dog to start up his own game development studio based in Japan. In an interview with Lance E.C. Tokyo, Agarwal spoke openly about why The Last of Us Online was cancelled, despite being very, very close to done, blaming it on a combination of factors including the widespread industry pullback following COVID lockdowns and Sony's subsequent reassessment of its live service push. What happened was, during COVID, the game industry saw a huge growth because everyone was at home. Agarwal began, so in 2020, money was flooding into the game industry because people were playing a lot more games all of a sudden because they're at home. What else did they have to do? Not just that. Online games specifically saw a huge boost because people wanted to play with their friends. They couldn't see their friends, so they had to play online with their friends. So online games got a huge boom. So Sony decided to put a lot of money into the online gaming like everyone else was. And so that was part of why The Last of Us multiplayer got funding and got off the ground, and we made a lot of progress, and the game was doing really, really, really well internally. We developed it almost to 80% completion. It was very close to done, but then all the forces that pushed the game industry in 2020 were the reasons it started declining in 2022, 2023. So as people returned to the office, suddenly people didn't have as much time to play games. You know, the spending reduced, the economy also went down, and all the money that flooded into the game industry not going to be able to sustain, because money was getting pulled out that had to also kind of collapse the spending they'd spent. They overspent basically. They were overzealous. So we're gonna talk about more of that later on the loop. Ooh, Marvel's Maximum Collection First Impressions, preserving the past as a while also providing optional new features. So we got a new collection here of Marvel arcade games, classic games that they have assembled in a nice little collection for anyone who's in the mood for playing them. Next story. Super Mario Galaxy movie opening breaks box office records despite mixed critical response. Alright, so here we go. This is over at IGN, and this story is by Tom Phillips. The Super Mario Galaxy movie has begun breaking box office records following its explosive launch into theaters yesterday, despite middling reviews. Nintendo's blockbuster sequel earned $34 million in the US on Wednesday, Deadline reported, making for the best opening day of any film released in 2026 so far. Project Hail Mary opened at $33.1 million, so it was close, though the Ryan Gosling film had been helped by opening on a Friday. After launching on a Wednesday, the Super Mario Galaxy movie now holds the record for the best opening on a Wednesday in April ever, beating its predecessor, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which collected $31.7 million in gold coins in 2023. Okay, move on to the next one. Backyard Baseball is back. For those of you who like backyard baseball, I grew up with this game. It was pretty popular back in the day. It says, I love exactly two baseball games. Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball for the SNES and Backyard Baseball 97. They came to me at an important time in my youth when I was ferocious for any sports game that included arcadey, approachable action, and I still thought baseball was cool. And in 2026, I'm happy to report that I have great reason to find baseball cool again, and that's Backyard Baseball Remake. Ooh, on the floor at PAX East 2006, I sat down with some brief hands-on time with the revamped Backyard Derby mode, where you have a limited amount of time to hit as many home runs as possible. Hitting dingers requires a little bit more work than the original game, though instead of simply swinging at the right time, you also need to line up the aiming reticle with a rapidly closing, sometimes moving target zone. It's tricky at first, but I found it pretty intuitive after only a couple of pitches. As far as I'm concerned, we're heading forward. Avatar 4 and 5 full speed ahead. Producers insist, but those 2029-2031 release dates are tentative. This is over at IGN by Wesley Vinpool. Following the release of Avatar Fire and Ash, fans of the franchise are wondering if creator James Cameron will get to realize his ambition to following up with Avatar 4 and 5. With the legendary writer and director has yet to confirm either movie is 100% happening, and Avatar producer sounds convinced both are on the way. Speaking to Inverse, Avatar producer Ray Cencini said Avatar 4 and 5 in the planning phases as we speak. Right now we're figuring out the schedule, she said. We're working hard on it right now, budgeting, scheduling, planning, building out our new pipeline for them. As far as we're concerned, we're full speed ahead. So a special effects heavy Avatar film cost a huge amount of money to produce, but they have historically made billions of dollars in the box office. So 2029's Avatar 1 remains the highest grossing movie of all time, not adjusted for inflation, and has earned a staggering $2.9 billion across several theater runs. In 2022's Avatar Way of Water has earned $2.3 billion, meanwhile cementing its place as the third highest grossing film of all time. Avatar Fire and Ash, however, made $1.5 billion during its theatrical run, while there's a huge amount of for any movie, it's some way behind its predecessors. So, has Fire and Ash done well enough to convince Disney to greenlight Avatar 4 and 5? Disney has given both sequels release dates already. Avatar 4 currently has a December 21, 2029 release date, with Avatar 5 due out December 19th, 2031. Cameron, now 71, would be close to 80 years old by the time it is all wrapped up. So you heard it here. I hope he does them. Because I need to see that the story, where that story goes. I've been invested for a long time. I'm getting up there too in age, so I need to see those movies. I hope you do it, James. And that's all for the feed. All right, guys. Now it's time to go around the net.
Charlie bit me. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ouch! Ouch! Ouch, Charlie! Ow! Charlie, that really hurt. No, Charlie bit me. And that really hurt, Charlie, and it's still hurting.
So here we are, one of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
Okay, guys, these eggs have given us a lot of trouble in the past. Does anybody need anything off this guy, or can we bypass him?
I think Leroy needs something from this guy.
Oh, he needs those devout shoulders? Isn't he a paladin?
Yeah, but that'll help him heal better. He'll have more mana.
Christ. Okay, well, what we'll do, I'll run in first, gather up all the eggs so we can kind of just, blast them all down with AoE. I will use Intimidating Shout to kind of scatter them so we don't have to fight a whole bunch of them at once. When my shout's done, I'll need Anthony to come in and drop his shout too, so we can keep them scattered and not have to fight too many. When his is done, Bass, of course, will need to run in and do the same thing. We're going to need Divine Intervention on our mages, so they can AE, so we can, of course, get them down fast, because we're bringing all these guys. I mean, we'll be in trouble if we don't take them down quick. I think it's a pretty good plan. We should be able to pull it off this time. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him!
Oh, geez, stick to the plan.
Oh, Jesus. Let's go.
Stick to the plan, Shove.
Stick to the plan.
Oh, gee. Oh, fuck. Give me Divine Intervention. Hurry up.
Shout.
He's saying I can't cast. I can't move. Am I lagging, guys?
I can't move. What the hell? I can't AE. Oh my god.
The eggs keep spawning. More respawning.
I don't think you can cast with that shit. Oh my god.
We got him.
I got it. Take it off.
Come on, stay down.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Leroy.
God damn it.
Leroy, you moron. Leroy.
Jimmy.
This is ridiculous.
So mass. I'm down. Forking down. God damn it.
This is
I got killed before I could remove
died
him.
on this.
God.
Oh,
See,
Spiffy res us.
Why do you
res
do
us.
this shit, Leroy?
I'm trying.
It's not my fault.
Who's soul stoned?
We do have a soul stone up, don't we?
Anthony, you got soul stones?
Warlock.
Oh god.
Oh, for...
Great job.
We
For
might
Christ's sake. Leroy, you were just stupid as hell.
Over him.
At least I have chicken.
Alright guys, it's now time for DVDUESDAY. And for this week's DVDUESDAY, we are talking about Howl's Moving Castle. This movie came out in 2004, and it's rated PG, and it's directed and created by Hayao Miyazaki. Howl's Moving Castle is about when an unconfident young woman is cursed with an old lady's body by a spiteful witch. Her only chance of breaking the spell lies with a self-indulgent yet insecure young wizard and his companions in his legged walking castle. This animation is one of the best I've ever seen. I honestly love this movie. It's definitely a buy. So when you get a chance, if you ever get a chance, please go watch Howl's Moving Castle. Whenever you get a chance, it is. You can watch it in many places. It should be on HBO Max, maybe. I'm not sure. But it's definitely a buy. Definitely a buy. And usually you can get this in a box set with other Studio Ghibli films. So if you can do that, I recommend you do that. You're going to fall in love with these movies, the characters, the story, the pacing, the animation. And it just gives off a sense of beauty. And it's storytelling like I've never seen it before. So please check out Howl's Moving Castle. And now it's time for a Today on It Came From eBay, we have a vintage 90s great stuff action circus clock used in the box, very rare. And they have this going on for $69.89, and it's currently sitting at no bids. And let's read some of the description here. Apparently this guy has a very good seller. I'm not too familiar with this circus thing, but apparently
Are you tired of playing by yourself? If so, come to World 8 to see some zombie shooting, Mario smashing, Street Fighters, Ants Factory, and this.
game that was reportedly around 70 to 80% complete, just gone, canceled, pulled, finished before it can ever even get a chance to fail or succeed. And there's a part that would make everybody raise an eyebrow. The game's director didn't even know it was canceled until 24 hours before Sony announced it. Now, for those who remember, the original Last of Us actually had a multiplayer mode built in it. It wasn't a massive, but it had a following. So when Naughty Dog said they were turning that idea into a full standalone experience, people were in. Years of development, years of anticipation, and nothing. Now, so the question isn't just why was it canceled? The real question is what does this say about where gaming is right now? Because if a studio like Naughty Dog can't get a project like this across the finish line, what chances does anything else have? let's get into it. This is the loop. All right, and joining me from Los Angeles, California, our guest, Pro Gamer, the One Free Man. Hello, the One Free Man. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Just a little exhausted, but you know, I ran a 5K on Saturday, but I'm good.
All right, so you got your calories out there.
You know it. You know it.
All right, so let's get right into it. I'm sure you saw the the headline of the article that came out a few days ago of The Last of Us. Are you familiar with it?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I read it on IGN. It was pretty kind of tough. It was a tough read. Just kind of sucks that you put so much time into it and you find out like, hey, we're just gonna cancel it. It sucks.
No, for real, because I mean, I was waiting for that game myself. I still play the first one actually. It's a great game, and it had potential to be great, you know, to see on the next gen console. And I don't know why they even wanted to make it a standalone. I mean, I guess I understand the hype around it, but yeah. Let's read some of the story right here. Let me read you from the article. This article is over at IGN. This is by Wesley Van Poole. It says the director of The Last of Us multiplayer spin-off has spoken out on the devastating impact of its cancellation, which he only found out about 24 hours before Sony made it public. Naughty Dog stopped development of The Last of Us Online in December 2023, saying it would have needed to pull all its resources into post-launch content for years to come, an approach that would have severely impacted its ability to develop future single-player games, including what we know is Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Rainer Ara was game director in The Last of Us Online, having joined Naughty Dog back in 2014. He worked on the game for nearly 7 years, from 2016 to 2023. When production was shut down afterwards, he left Naughty Dog to start up his own game development studio in Japan.
It's like I said, it's tough to find out. I think it was like 24 hours before, right? You found out 24 hours before or after that, you know, he was working on something that could have been, you know, great. I'm sure it would have been great because the game was great on PS4. Standalone, you know, I was still gonna buy it regardless, but you know, to scrap it in the last minute, it's already 80% done. I don't see the point of canceling it. They're saying yes, it would have affected what the profit is. Interstellar, what's it called again?
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
Yeah, I don't see how. Like, I'm sure they could have made money off the multiplayer game. You know, like weapons, skins. They could have made money off it. So I just think they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah. It sucks.
It does suck. I have some questions here. You know, let's see how many we could get through. They're gonna be all over the place, but they're all gonna be about The Last of Us. So let's get straight into it. How do you cancel a game that's reportedly 70 to 80% finished? What does that say about the industry right now?
I think they're probably looking like. I think me personally, they're probably thinking there's no money in this. You know, because they chose to do a standalone, right? They could have easily added it to Last of Us Part 2, and then still made money. They chose to do it separate, and I guess along the way they're probably thinking, you know what, we're putting a lot of money into this, and if we sell it for like maybe $20-$30, is there going to be money coming in afterwards? Which I think they would have. So I think the reason they canceled something that could have been an amazing game because they saw there is no profit in it. So in the end, all that matters now in the gaming industry serious. Like it's going to be not like hundreds of thousands. They're looking for the millions of dollars. And if they don't see millions of dollars in revenue, is not worth the risk. So they can just cancel the game and use it as a tax write-off, which sucks.
It does suck. It sucks 100%. It sucks 1,000%. It sucks. So, are you more? Would you say you're more disappointed, or honestly not surprised?
I'm disappointed because I remember when I first bought Last of Us 2, right? So before Last of Us 2 came out, then there was no talk about the multiplayer. But then at the end, when the game was about to come out, they were like, the multiplayer game is not going to be on Last of Us 2. It's going to be its own game. And then I was more hyped about it because I believe, I think it was like Neil Druckmann went on stage. I forgot on one stage and talked about it. So I was more hyped about it. I was so hyped about it. Oh, it's going to be a standalone game. It's going to be like this. And I was looking forward to it. And then I think years passed and they're saying they're still working on it. And then randomly, for it to be canceled sucks because I was really looking forward to that game because I had such a great time. I remember you got me into the multiplayer because I only played the story mode, and you told me to play the multiplayer. And since I played the multiplayer, I've been hooked on it. So to get an updated version of it, well, promised an updated version of it, and in the last second they just took it away, is very disappointing.
I mean, you said it all right there. And yeah, I remember getting you into the game, and the honestly, the online aspect of the first game still holds up even today. You can pick it up right now, play, and you would still have a lot of fun. And it competes with your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, your Rainbow Sixes. I mean, it's a great game, and it would have been a great franchise if they wouldn't have messed up the execution.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to the next question, do you think it's better off for Naughty Dog to stick strictly to first party games, like no online games, just first person, not first person, but role playing games, like single player games?
Naughty Dog, so like, I think the first multiplayer game I've ever played from them was like Uncharted 3. I believe it was Uncharted 3. That was the first multiplayer game I played from them, and I didn't really like it. So the second one was The Last of Us, which I believe they did a really good job at it. It was, it was really good. It has a cult following. So, especially after what they did now, canceling it, I would just say stick to story, because clearly they don't. There's no money in it for them. They're not looking. They're not looking for something that's gonna make them a little bit of money. They want something that's gonna make them a lot of money. And I believe that they could have made money with this as well, but I guess to them right now, single player is where it's at for them. And which I'm not knocking that, because they make really good single player games, like story mode, story-based games, which is fine. But they would have made equal, I think, the same amount of money with this. Yes, it would have been like a live service game, but people pay for skins and they pay for weapons. But I think after the cancellation now, I think they should just stick to story. Single player games, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, since you dropped the ball, I mean, if I dropped the ball like that, I wouldn't want to make another online game, because then I'd just be known as the guy who fumbled The Last of Us Online forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to go out like that. So let's see. Moving on to the next question: if this was any other studio, not Naughty Dog, do you think the reaction would even matter?
I don't think so. I don't think it would matter. And because if it was, it mattered with, I think it mattered with this company, because it stuck out, right? Like, oh wow, like the game was really good. And I'm sure another company could have made the exact same game, maybe even better. But it was really good, very underrated game. And then multiplayer game. The story was good, but multiplayer game was very underrated at first, and then it got its own following, and then everyone loved it. I think if another company did it, no one would care because you can see like a lot of these companies now, they're canceling, they're firing people when games don't do good. And yeah, it's all over the news, but it's not like no one's shocked about it. Everyone's mostly disappointed in this because everyone like anticipated this game. They were like waiting for years. It was promised. I'm not even sure when Last of Us 2 came out. I think it was like during COVID a year. I think it was like 2020. So that was like they promised this game 6 years ago. 6 years ago now. So I think if another company did it, I don't think they would be as disappointed because yeah, I don't because Naughty Dog is very up there. It's a very well-known name. So that's why I think if someone else did it, now I'm not saying there's no other well-known names, but Last of Us is a really big name when it comes in the game industry. So to just take that away from people, yeah, I don't think if it was somebody else, they wouldn't care. But since it's Naughty Dog, they do care.
Would you have preferred like that they have released the game even if it wasn't perfect?
Oh yeah, the multiplayer for the PS4 game is not perfect, but it is fun. It is a fun game. It is so good. So even if I would have gotten the same version from the PS4 version with just way better graphics and maybe like fix the loading time, but it is fun. You could have just made it look better. If they could put money into like just because like what they released the updated version of Last of Us 1 remake onto the PS5, right? It's the same thing. They just added a better graphics to it. You could have done that to the multiplayer game. Maybe still would have been broken, but it would have been fun. You would have seen so many people on the PS5 playing that right now. Because when you go on the PS4 version, people are still playing it. Imagine if they updated that to the PS5 version. I believe it would draw in more. It would draw in a lot more.
I agree. I mean, I still have it installed on my PS5 now. I have it installed for whenever.
I tried playing the other day. I kind of lost my touch.
Oh yeah, I bet you're a bit rusty, but it's just
please
like
look,
riding a bike, they say.
Yeah, I need some training wheels for this one because it was rough.
It was rough. If you were in charge of Naughty Dog right now, what changes would you make?
I would release the game. If I was there, I would take the chance. Like, you know what? We're already 80% done, right? What's 20% more? What else do we need to add to it? Let's just release the game. If you release a standalone game for $20, $20 for a lot of people is nothing. I understand, like, they would want it to be free, but then they also gotta make a profit. So, like, but if you put it for $20 to $30, I'll just release it for $30. You buy it, right? Games out there, and then you can, like, example, like Arc Raiders, right? I would make it something like Arc Raiders, and that obviously it's a loot, and you have to like to escape. I forgot the genre for Arc Raiders, but if I would make a Last of Us multiplayer game, it would be like that. So that would be if I was in charge, I'd be like, just do that, drop it, and people will still buy it. $20, $30, people will buy it.
Yeah, no, I believe you. And I believe Arc Raiders is an extraction type game.
There you go, extraction. Oh, also, I would like to, if I was in charge, I would add create your own character and stuff.
Oh man, that would be really cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So let's be serious. If they were to announce it tomorrow, The Last of Us Online coming out, would you be excited?
Oh yeah, I would. If they released it today, I would buy it right away. I would buy it right away because that's one of the games where I met a really good online friend. His name is Kyle Robinson, right? Super nice dude. I met him on the game, and I believe you played with him before. But I met him in real life. And super nice guy. So I would definitely buy that game instantly. Is it sometimes there's some toxic players, in which game there isn't, but there's a lot of good friendly people on the game.
I heard that. Yeah, I mean there is, and I mean it's not hard to find a match in the game. You'll get into a match within 5 minutes of looking for it, because that is just a whole bunch of people still playing it. Let me see. Let me get some other questions right here. All right. Let's see. Is this proof that live service games are too risky even for big studios like Naughty Dog?
Well, I think live service games is something risky for PlayStation, because I think where I saw, like, I think it was a few months ago, they were like, they really want to get into the live service game. It's not working out well for them. They bought Bungie because they wanted to focus into live service games. It's not working out for them. You know, I know that Destiny didn't do as well. There is some live service games on other platforms that are thriving, but I think live service games on console gaming is maybe not the way to go. I know, like, Destiny is one of them, and so is Marathon. I know Marathon is not, like, it looks like a good game, but there's a lot of risk in it. You know, you have to have people want to buy in-game content, buy skins, and if no one's buying all that, there's no money in it. So I think live service right now is not the way to go.
I mean, you said it. I mean, I don't even know how many live service games. I don't even think I play any at all. Maybe Fortnite would be the last one, but I haven't played that in a while.
And you saw they just fired. I think they fired 1,000 people, right? They fired 1,000 people. I think it was Fortnite. I want to say it is Fortnite, where they fired. And they're making millions.
Epic Games just fired 20% of their staff because retention of Fortnite is at all-time low.
Yeah, and they're making millions. But if it's not in the near billions, it's not money to them, and that's where they're messing up. And that's what's going on now. So, if it's not if it's making 100,000, to them it's not money. So I don't think live service is definitely, like, because there's so many other things now to play. So live service is not always going to be the go-to anymore. You know, like look at Fortnite. I'm sure a lot of kids still play that, right? But people grow out of it. You know, and not everybody wants to pay like $20 for a skin. I don't want to do that. So I think right now live service is dying because it's the economy we're in right now. No one can really afford. Oh, I want to buy this skin for this Fortnite character. It's like $30, $40. I don't want to do that. And then they just increased what the V-Bucks, right? So if they're doing it in Fortnite to buy digital currency, increasing the pricing, they're gonna do it for every other game. So yeah, I think right now live service games is dying down because it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and there's too many of them. So I think it should take a break for a minute.
I mean, I think the same thing. Let me ask you, what's worse, a bad game releasing or a promising game never releasing at all?
A bad game releasing, because when you release a bad game, you have time to work on it. Okay, let me see for an example, right? Okay. When No Man's Sky came out, right? That was considered a bad game. Me, I can't say it was a bad game because I only played it a few times with you. But when it first came out, it wasn't the greatest game. But what happened? In years, they fixed it. And now that game is very beloved by a lot of people. So if you release a bad game, you can work on it. And I believe No Man's Sky is not considered a live service game, right? I think it is considered a live service game. But if you keep working on a bad game and make it at least good, it don't have to be great. It's got to be good. If you can make it a bad game into a good game, which you could have done with The Last of Us, they could have released it. Maybe it wouldn't have been the greatest game. But if you can make it good, that's all that matters. So I would prefer a bad game, talk shit about the game. Oh, I'm sorry, talk crap about the game, and then just work on it. Just work on it and make it better. Just No Man's Sky, everyone's on that still. They fixed it. Everyone's on that.
That's true. They did fix that game. Let's see. So pretty much to get it down to just I would say this was a big fumble. Am I wrong?
Oh, big fumble. Not only that it disappointed fans, but there is potential money because that's what they're looking for. I'm sure they want to please the fans, but they're looking for the big bucks, right? So it was definitely a fumble because you already put so much money into working on this project, right? 80%. So just finish the game. So they would have made maybe more money back by releasing the game, but they probably estimated it's not going to be in the almost billion. So let's not do it. Yeah, so they definitely fumbled, and I'm sure they lost. I wouldn't think they lost some fans because I'm sure they're gonna buy the next game that comes out, but it's kind of like they disappointed a lot of fans right now. So definitely fumbled the bag.
I mean, this is why gamers don't trust studios anymore.
Mm-hmm. They can tell you one thing and then they'll have you hooked. Like they had me hooked for what 5 years, 6 years, and then out of nowhere they're just gonna we're just gonna cancel the game. And I'm still waiting. I'm like, hey, where's this update at? Because I'm looking forward. Hey, it's gonna be I gotta feed my people. I gotta feed my camp. I gotta go out there. And then nothing. They just took it away. So it sucks.
So I can't believe literally it's you're telling me that you've wasted years of development for nothing to go out the window.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, because to them if they don't see they're focusing on that intergalactic game, right? Intergalactic game, they're focusing on that right now. That's gonna make money because I'm sure by the time that game comes out, games are gonna cost $80. Right now, it's it's $70 for a game. By the time that game comes out, it's gonna be $80 just for the regular, and for the premium, it's gonna be in the hundreds. So they're gonna make money. They're gonna make money off that game. They're only focusing on what's the next money maker.
Yep, they're focusing on money makers now. And I mean, I thought. Could have fooled me. I thought The Last of Us Online was a moneymaker, but I guess Naughty Dog doesn't like to make money, only by selling their IPs away. But let's see what we got here. So when it gets down to it, I guess at least in my opinion, an opinion here on Attack of the Show is that this might be one of the biggest fumbles in modern gaming history, and it's going to be forever. I think Naughty Dog is always, at least the people who follow Naughty Dog are going to forever be synonymous with fumbling, because dude, especially with the show coming out, and that would have brought people towards it. I mean, people would have gotten skins over the
definitely.
But I don't know. I mean, a life we could have lived, maybe out there in another, in reality, in Earth 216, maybe it got released over there.
See, I had this idea for the game, and I was looking forward to this. I was like, oh, hopefully it's how you can be in a clan or whatever. We all have a community, and we each have to go hunt and feed our people. And then when you come back from playing a match, you can see if you brought enough food for your people, and instead of showing you the little dots, right, the little dots, and in the game, it shows you like the people you're actually like. If you did bad, right, like if you did bad, you will see the people getting sick and dying. Which, I know it's hard to see, but it will be cool to see like the effect you have in the game have effect on your people in your camp. That would have been cool.
No, that sounds like a great game to me. Actually, I definitely would have picked that up. Maybe take some notes over there, Naughty Dog. Let's see. I know for a fact that one of their assistants is going to be putting this video in front of them, and they're going to be taking all the notes. That's right.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to fix everything. Don't hold your breath. But it does seem like we're running out of time here. Where can people follow you if they need to follow you? Do you stream or anything?
I stream sometimes. My name on Twitch, I believe, is the One Free Man 10. So it's the number 1 and the number 10. It's the One Free Man 10.
And what kind of games do you stream?
Right now I'm playing NBA 2K 26. Also, I'm playing Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I'm trying to beat that game. I believe I'm halfway through the game. I think I am. But I would be a lot further. But there's a lot of parts that scare me. And when that happens, I just take a break and turn it off.
Hey, I don't blame you. I've never been in a Resident Evil game to this day. Well, maybe part 2, but that's only because I used a grenade launcher to get through everything. But that's the kind of player I am. So thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on
Hey, thanks for having me. Doki doki.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are reaching the end of the episode. I want to thank everyone who watched. I want to thank my guest, the One Free Man, for joining me in the loop today. And then I also want to talk about Sammy's Corner for today on Sammy's Corner. We're going to be talking about one of her favorite drinks, which was Monsters. That's right. My sister loved Monsters. It was like her signature drink. If you ever get a chance to try them, they're insanely bad for you. But, I mean, every once in a while, I enjoy myself a good Monster as well. And one of the memories I have is my sister collecting the tabs from the Monster. Remember, she would have like a whole thing, like a whole necklace of the little tabs. And then, yeah, she loved that. So for those of you who haven't, for those of you that haven't followed us yet on the different socials, please feel free to look us up on TikTok. We're under Plus Ultra TV. You can find us there. You could also find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Plus Ultra TV. I stream there a lot. You guys check out some of our videos, some of our content. And then also over on YouTube, my YouTube channel is Plus Ultra TV. And this is where the Attack of the Show, episodes are posted. So feel free to send us a like, some comments, and also if you want to join the Discord, that's great as well. So thank you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time on Attack of the Show.